a warning. Always know this. The Most High has never, ever destroyed any nation that ruled over Israel without giving them a warning and giving them a chance to save themselves before he destroyed them. Every nation that he has destroyed, or every kingdom that he has brought down, he has given them a warning. So when Moses and Aaron went before Pharaoh, they gave him many warnings. The Most High gave the Pharaoh many warnings. Let my people go. But because they didn't hear, what did he do? He starts sending the plagues. But you have the two witnesses. This time, you have now the same people being persecuted. But all of a sudden, because you know the witnesses, most of them, they come forth to win. He saw the persecution of how his brothers were treated. Because you know Moses was raised in Pharaoh's house. He had a good life. But one day he saw what? The plight of his brother, how they were being persecuted and mistreated. And now all of a sudden, his purpose begins to come forth. And so now you have the same people in a foreign land today. Now all of a sudden, you see a people that now they're standing up. I don't care what part of the earth they're in. You got somebody standing up telling the people. If they're not on the street corners, they're on Facebook, they're on my way of YouTube, but they're telling the world, we're Israel, and stop persecuting us. They're calling all of their crimes and calling out all of their sins before their very own faces. Are they not doing it? Yeah. They're doing it. So you have the two witnesses. We go back over to Jeremiah. He said Israel and Judah are my two witnesses in the earth. So now you have a body standing up, telling the people, it's time for us to go. Y'all have the Israelites in captivity. By us standing up, that's setting up the tone for what? When you go to Revelation, what does it talk about? Two witnesses coming forth. Just like that was a physical two witnesses then, you have the two houses, they're going to be a physical two witnesses this time. And guess where they're going to go? They're going to go before the pharaohs and the powers of this earth. And they're going to do the same thing again. Let my people go. You see how the beginning of the book, it stays the same all the way to the end of the book? Nothing changes. But this time, what do you notice about when you read? The first time, they were coming from one general location. But you notice as we've been reading, he keeps pointing out four directions. North, south, east, and west. I probably got different because I'm looking at y'all, but y'all know what I mean. But north, south, east, and west. He said, no longer will they sing about how he brought them out of what? Mizraim. But this time they should talk about what? How he brought them from the land of the north. He's going to call them from the land to the south. And tell the east and the west to give up what? His sons and daughters. The same thing all over again. Now you have the two witnesses coming forward. And we're going to get into some other scriptures and read from the New Testament. And we'll see Apostle Shaul talks about how those things that happened in Mizraim, Egypt, were for a warning and an insight. And to be for an example. Because guess what? Those things that happened then, they're going to happen again. And with that, I'm going to close out today's lesson. I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Hallelujah. Questions, comments, testimonies.
This is good.
Sad well, we need to touch the surface.
Yeah. It's something I had, what's wrong? Got it. Can you just start the lesson over again, and I can let you know as I go?
Okay.
What was it? Oh, yeah, so this, again, I guess just to talk about it with what's being said, is this coming down, Christ coming back, the sky splits, he grabbed all his people, hosts them into the air, take them away. Because the Christian church, matter of fact, I talked to somebody today, or yesterday, that was talking about this. So the Christian church still believes that Christ is going to come back and they're going to be snatched out of this thing and taken away, and they're not going to have to go through any of this stuff. I don't even think the church ever talks about us going back into the wilderness at all and going through what we went through again. So, just for the record, he's not going to come back and take away all of the people who believe before we go through this cleansing. When I mean cleansing, I mean on both sides. Battle into Jehoshaphat, all of that. We have to go through all of that stuff, right? Through this tribulation period.
Right.
We have to go through there, right?
Right, because we're going to read, going to some things next Shabbat,
Okay.
and we're going to actually look at Jacob's trouble, because he gives you two accounts. And he speaks of a woman in travail, then he speaks of a man in travail. And in one, he says, and Israel shall be saved from it, or out of it. But then he deals with the nations who will also be what? In Jacob's trouble. And he said what? And they shall not escape. You got one group who's saved out of it. You have another who won't escape.
Well, when you're talking about this, you're not talking about him coming back and hoisting us into the air. All of the people disappear.
Right.
Planes crashing, cars. That's
No.
not going to happen.
Now, see that rapture thing is something else.
Rapture thing, yeah.
Yeah, that rapture thing is something that's a teaching that most all of our people have been deceived by.
Right.
Not only our people, but most of the world, those in Christendom or Christianity, they have been deceived by that. There's only one catching up, gathering in the air. And it's so fast you don't even know you've been up there.
Right.
He said it will be in the moment and the twinkling of an eye.
That's right.
And just like I said, it's all about a change, because remember he has to purify this earth. He says he's going to do it with what? A fervent fire. And he can't do it with you on it.
That's right. See, so the danger of this thing is that you're not prepared at all, because you're expecting not to have to go through it. I remember I used to pray, Father, I don't want to be here when you come back, because I know that what we're going to have to go through, because I was out of the Christian church. So the whole mindset of the Christian church is they're not going to be prepared. They're not going to know what's going on. It's just going to be happening, and they're not going to know. And a lot of them are going to just say, you know how they keep, we see all this stuff happen around the world today, and they keep explaining it away. You know, like it's,
Right.
you know. So that's what's going to happen with these guys. All this stuff is going to be going on. They're not going to know what hit them.
Well,
You know, until they get out of their death.
well, they won't know until they themselves caught up in it.
Right.
Because that's where you have people like ourselves and other people that are awakened, who are we're spreading the word, we're telling them. And they just don't believe it because they refuse to research and study for themselves. So what happens is there's going to be a remedy. It's designed to be that way. But even through that, he's yet going to save his people. Because remember, he said he's not going to leave not one of his sons and daughters behind. So in order for him to do that, they have to be able to survive during that time. And I think what we get most people throwing out with this mark of the beast thing, one day we're going to really tackle that and deal with that and see what that is.
Great.
Because they're looking for this number 6 stamped in the forehead and on the hand. And no, that same movie, The Rapture, got the people to see with that. So we'll look at that. But they will have means, they will be able to survive. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for them to do, but they'll be able to do it. And we have to realize, when we spoke about the second Exodus, when we even went into last week how we were talking about the stranger. Remember, when we do these feast days, they're all prophecies of the redemption, restoration, and reconciliation of Israel. And so when we go into like first fruit, we talked about how he gave them commandments. Now, when they go clean in the fields, he specifically told them not to what? Don't you clean out the corners.
Mm-hmm.
But he said leave some for who? The stranger, the widow, foreign. And what were they reaping or gleaning at the time? It was the wheat and barley. And whenever you read in the scripture, whenever you see the word wheat, it's always pertaining to who? Israel. So that's why he told them, leave some of the wheat where? In the corners. For who? The widow, for the stranger, because he's already gathered what? The first fruit. The first fruit comes from the Hebrew word bakar, bikurim, which means firstborns. And the first gathering can only be Israel. No strangers are allowed to be a part of that gathering. But the second gathering is going to be remnants of Israel and the strangers that what? Attach themselves or latch hold to them. So you know they're going to be able to survive or they will be around because he's going to bring them through it. But there's going to be a remnant. He said, remember, and you're going through to look towards Jerusalem. Because why? They should have been there. But some people, they can't help but to want to be a part of the nation and attached to the nation. They refuse to let go. So I came about a beautiful scripture earlier about how he said what? Come out of them and be ye separated. So you want to do what, Zadar?
So they will not be partakers or receive of the plagues.
So you won't be partakers of her sin and partake of the plague which he has for her. So even with that, not being in the first gathering, they still will be able to survive through what is called, but see, even with that, he's not going to leave them in there long. It's not like all of a sudden they didn't go with the big ring. Now all of a sudden, throughout the whole duration of the tribulation and all, that they're going through it all. No. He's still going to go back and get them. They're going to experience some of it at the beginning, but that's what's going to cause them to wake up then. When they begin to see these things, that's when they're going to realize we have to get out. It's not like they just stayed under it the whole time. Because while it kept Jacob's trouble, Jacob is not the one in trouble. It's those who have Jacob confined, who have a hold on Jacob. That's what Jacob's trouble is about.
Which goes back to Egypt again. Because they was the ones that was in trouble. And
right.
we was the one that was, we was protected. We was let out of Egypt. But they were the ones that was in trouble because the plagues came upon them.
Right, remember he just said he's going to bring them back through the waters?
Yep.
He said he's going to bring them through the fire. Did he not do the same thing in Mizraim? And he said, not one thread of your clothing shall be singed. The fire ain't going to touch it. But he's going to bring you back through these same things, but he's going to bring you through unscathed or untouched. It is going to be the same thing for all of his children. Any more questions? Okay, go ahead.
So you said the two witnesses was Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom.
Yeah.
What about when they express somebody Elijah coming back for the prayer day?
Oh, what about when, what now?
You say Elijah's going to come back to consider Elijah
Right,
for prayer day.
right. But will it be Elijah? Or will it be someone with the mantle of Elijah? Like when Yahuah and Ezra came, who did they think he was?
Elijah. Or is it prophet?
Yeah, but they named a specific prophet.
Right.
They thought he was Elisha.
You know, I forgot to bring something to y'all attention.
Yeah, bring it out.
But according to a text that I got, Elijah is here already.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. I got a text the other day. Now, who you just said, Yahuah, right? I got a text from Yahuah that I want to share with y'all. I mean,
Yahuah, who you speak?
yeah. He just said this to me, I guess. Because I don't see anybody else. He says, if you have it in your heart to believe in the Bible, the two witnesses to come, there are two witnesses to come. We are in the end times. Elijah, Eliyahu, in parentheses, the prophet is me, is here. Okay, so according to him,
We still alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. You would have said.
Yeah, no, because for what I'm finna say.
yeah, because according,
Good thing I didn't respond.
yeah, well, according to him, he's Elijah, and he's here, and he's letting me know that he is. So, I just wanted to bring that out,
Right.
because you touched on it, and it just brought me back to remembrance that he just said this to me the other day. We know that he's not.
Right.
It's sad because Scripture tells you when you think yourself to be something you're not, you deceive yourself.
Right.
So, but I just wanted to bring that out because this brother seems to think that he's Elijah.
And there's many false prophets will come forth
That's
in the
right.
last day, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that out.
Right, so, the two, like you said, the two witnesses, there are two, I think y'all hadn't walked in yet when we went on about, there will be two physical witnesses, that one will come carrying the mantle of Elijah, and some to the other one will be Mashiyach, and some argue to say that it will be Enoch, or Enosh. Right. But I've always felt in my heart that it will be someone carrying the mantle of Elijah and Mashiyach. Not the physical Mashiyach, but someone with the same ministry upon them. Because they both serve two different purposes. Mashiyach dealt with the people who were originally, he brought them out to be what? Under something that we're trying to return to back under the original covenant. The kingdom of priests. But Elijah came to do something. When he came, he called the people back into repentance.
They'll say he's going to be killed in the great city. Revelation will say he's going to be killed in the great city where he was killed as well. We're talking about Jerusalem.
Right. Because remember, it talks about how they would go forth and they would they were witness or testify how many days? Wasn't it 2 days? 2 days. But they would be resurrected again. Third day. The same thing he said with Israel, what he said. 2 days have I spit thee. Third day I shall raise you up. So the same thing happens again, even with the 2 witnesses, even with Israel. So is it a physical death?
It seemed like it would be something when they're talking about how people just like running in the streets and stuff like that, they died and everything.
Or is it that they will cease to speak and stop prophesying?
It doesn't say that they're going to be laying dead in the street. The 2 witnesses.
Well, the scripture says that they're going to die according to, what the scripture says.
I thought it was no, that's the.
Right, so we'll see if it's a physical death or will they go mute and stop prophesying. You got a question. No. You say, yeah, where's the heat at? No. Anybody else? Well, at this time, we're going to get ready to close out. Any testimonies? Anybody want to, okay.
Well, I want to thank Yahuah for conspiring to see another year. She actually made 18.
Yeah.
On the fair.
Hallelujah.
Really thankful to see another. It was a really good week. Just being enlightened, continuing studying, and just walking and seeing everyday miracles happening, and being able to speak His word to people, and hopefully enlighten them. But for me and the family, just staying on the path and trying to be consistent with it.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Lord, for that every day.
Hallelujah.
Well, me personally also, I want to thank Yahuah for bringing me to this point, from birth all the way to now. That's my new thing, from birth all the way to now. And because, a lot of people don't make it. Even as children die, they don't get to see adulthood. So I was, blessed, from birth all the way to now. Been brought back in the truth. I want to thank you all, give them all a statement of honor for that. Can't do nothing without it. Also, I just want to say this because this is on my heart. The thing that I just brought out about this brother Aaron that calls himself Yahuah or whatever. You understand? I'm bringing that up because for the simple reason, we are being deceived. We're being led by disagreeable spirits. You understand? And I'm not making this about him, but I brought this up is because we got to be careful, just like you just brought out that they should say, I'm here. If you say if I'm this person, don't believe I'm not. And we just got to be careful of what spirits, is dealing with us, because spirits can lead you to believe that you're somebody. You understand? And I just want to say that. Yeah, I want to say that sometimes you gotta rebuke or let a brother know, amongst the congregation, because the scriptures say rebuke that all may fear. Sometimes things gotta be brought out in the forefront. You understand? So according to scripture. So I just wanted to bring that out. That was on my heart, and I brought it out, and that's it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
statement most of that also, what Zarza Ken said is key. And we have to always check ourselves. Because anytime you get to where you feel like the leaders in the congregation, they can't teach you or tell you anything, and that you don't have to submit and subject to them, you have to know that's the wrong spirit. And if you're in a situation like that, you need to find you somewhere to go where you can submit to somebody. It's not saying that you have to come in a congregation, Yashra'al, and be here. Because anytime you're in a place where, you know what, they can't tell me that, I know just as much as they know. But no, I don't care how much you think you know. If the Most High sent you there, and if He called them and placed them there as the leader, you need to subject and submit to the leadership. Or find somewhere to go where you can subject and submit to the leadership. And that's the problem. You have Israelites who feel like they just know everything. And the sad part about it is, you've been in some 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. These people just found out they're Israel a year and a half to 2 years ago, and all of a sudden they know more than you. And you've been in your whole life, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You don't even know enough. And the stuff you think you know, you don't know. And that's what happens with us as a people. You will have to get somewhere where you can humble yourself and say, I need to learn. And just because you're unprepared, that don't mean they know everything, but they can teach you some things. You're not in a place like, no, I have the utmost respect for those that are over me. Moreh Kasadaba, Moreh Lamar Yahuah. Because, you know, I cherish the gift that these brothers have. And not only that, I cherish the gift and what the Most High has placed in y'all. Do y'all know how much I learned from you guys? I don't know everything. And a lot of times you might say something that I haven't thought about. I'm like, you know, that's good, right? I hadn't even thought about that. And it caused me to focus on another scripture and help enlighten me on that, because of one thing you might have said. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we are, a well-oiled machine, all parts working together with one common goal, to excel and accelerate and move all of us forward. So everybody is needed, everybody has a function, everybody has a job. But we all need to be humble and be in a place where we know and understand that we have to be led and taught by somebody. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people, especially with that brother. You know, when you think you know more than leadership, if you're not coming with any scripture or anything, you just going off of your interpretation, not backing it up with anything. You know, that's crazy. Don't you know if you had that much ruach telling you that much, He would give you power over these demonic spirits and the drugs and all this stuff? There ain't no way in the world the Most High speaking to you that much that you can't give up drugs. That's crazy.
Why speak?
But one thing I will say, He'll speak to you.
Somebody speak.
You might not be listening, or He's telling you to get your, you know what, somewhere and sit down.
Right.
That's what He's speaking. That's what He's telling you. But see, we just, I don't know. It's Christianity that has